to do a book review of 13th Floor. 13th Floor, Volume 1 from Rebellion. Treasury of British Comics. There's the back cover. This book came out in 2018. There's 170 pages. And what does it feature? It features stories from a magazine, a comic called Scream and Eagle, and features the supercomputer Max. It's all about the 13th floor. It's in a high-rise block, and there is no 13th floor. For some weird reason, 13th floor, it goes all the way up to 12, and then there's a gap, and then 14, 15, 16, etc. You've got lots of occupants in all the various flats. Now, this story obviously is in the UK, so you've got UK characters all the way through it, and Max really helps them all the time. He's always sorting out their problems. Absolutely wonderful supercomputer. However, if you're an evildoer, it's not so good. You may be like doing graffiti. In fact, it's very, very subtle sometimes why he takes a dislike. Might be just a person going along that's going to try and expose him, maybe. Because, of course, people are suspicious about things. Various things happen. People are suspicious. So then obviously Max deals with him, but he deals with lots of other rogues in pretty gruesome ways. Like 1950s comics, EC comics, all those horror comics, where you've got like zombies, you've got death, Satan. They're all in here. So you've got lots of great... It's quite amazing when you look at these comics that were like for 10-year-old, 12-year-old kids. And there was some pretty... I always wonder whether the parents ever actually looked in these comics. The kids must have been reading these thinking, well, that's a pretty good story. Lots of really gruesome people, sort of heads being, what's that? Sort of things. Yeah, great stories. So, Scream now and 13th Floor. Well, John Wagner, Alan Grant and Jose Ortiz. That's the artist, Jose. Did lots of brilliant artwork. Lots of UK comics and others. So, brilliant artwork all the way through. It's all in black and white. So, just quickly show also I can show the spine, so you can see there. And obviously the gutter, so you can see the gutter. You can easily read this. The artwork's all black and white predominantly, though there's some extras at the back, so there's some colour, sort of the covers of the comics. British comics, of course, were in black and white, so that's the reason. Now, these are all 4 pages each time, each week. But this is the great thing about reading a book like this, is that because it's just you can read it all in one go. So you can just flick through it and just think, wow, that's a great story. So not going to go show the end pages because that would be terrible. So just show you some of the artwork in here. And there's another one, there's one with Satan. So, and you can see the artwork. The artwork is just brilliant. Really nice quality paper as well. Absolutely glorious paper. Now, Rebellion bring out lots of them, sometimes bring out hardback. I would love to have seen this as a hardback book. Of course it isn't, but which is a pity. That's the only probably criticism. That would have been really good hardback. But the quality of the paper is really nice. The reproduction is absolutely superb. Really, really very sharp. Absolutely no sort of roughness, etc. Just look through that. You see it. It just looks really good. Now, I think it must be approximately the same size as the original comics. Without bringing out a copy of Scream, which I don't have, didn't collect Scream, so I've got no copies to compare the size. But it looks approximately the sort of size that UK comics were, so I guess it is. So these stories, like 1984 and 1985, they were out. And I think they're absolutely brilliant. Max is, like I say, the supercomputer. How he does it, I do not know. But he can create illusions, really convincing illusions. Must have amazing computing power to be able to create something like this. Obviously, a holodeck kind of thing that would be in Star Trek. So you've got, you get these various characters that go into this 13th floor, which doesn't exist. 13th floor doesn't exist. So you've got lots of things like spiders suddenly start going all over you or trying to eat you or something. All those sort of things. All very pleasant stuff. Again, great for kids. I'm certain it was. Also, Max has got various. He's a superhero. He's a superhero. He does obviously wants to help all his occupants of his flats. Also, you've got a controller, or he looks after the place. Now, well, he's sort of manipulated in many different ways as well. So there's a great storyline with him as well. Also, the police are involved as well, because of course you've got a block of flats where mysteriously people keep disappearing or people get killed, whatever, because there's lots of times where things happen and you've got all those sort of storylines. At some point, the authorities would get a bit suspicious. Even in this country, people would eventually go, that's very strange. We sent someone there a couple of weeks ago, or someone went there, and they never returned. What happened? Or this robber was seen going in there, never seen him again, kind of thing. Well, you would sort of at some point be suspicious. And even probably the occupants might start thinking, that's very odd. At some point, there would be some sort of thinking, So you would, but of course, things go further and further, but it's very well done. Although the stories, very fun stories, as well as being gruesome. So you've got just brilliant all the way through. So I say it's just a totally recommend. I really hope Rebellion keep bringing out more and more of these brilliant books. I love these. Like I say, I would love to see more in hardback, but still, it's fine if they bring that. It keeps obviously the cost down slightly by having them in paperback, makes them a bit cheaper to buy. But it's just great to see these collections because, of course, the Americans get vast amounts of omnibuses, gallery editions, artist editions, absolute editions. So it's really nice that we're starting to see all our brilliant comics. And there were some great comics in the 70s, 80s, as well as in 60s and 50s, etc., that really should be reprinted. And it's just great to see that Rebellion is bringing these out. And finally, we can see them in lovely collections like this. And this is just absolutely beautiful. Thoroughly enjoyable story. I loved this. It's just completely recommended. And also at the back, you got a little bit of bonus material as well. Now, weirdly, and I don't know why they didn't, because it's 170 pages. If they had brought out a 350-page one where it would have been the complete 13, I would have still bought it. I would still have bought the whole thing. So, I mean, you can see it's a finished book, but 320, 300, lots of American books often are that size. So it would have been brilliant. Of course, it would have been 30 quid or something, maybe 30 or whatever. But it would have been really to have a complete story. But there is a volume 2 supposedly coming out, and I have pre-ordered it. So I am looking forward to a copy. Hopefully that will be out fairly shortly. And like I say, they keep definitely worth checking out. Go to their website as well, because they've got lots and lots of other books. Bring out specials as well every once in a while, and they're quite good as well. Now, I'm not a mega fan of some of the modern art. Some of it's okay. But I actually genuinely think that those comics are really, really quite nice. I've got a few of them, and I've thoroughly enjoyed them. And obviously, when they come out, I will check them out. And so I recommend looking out for those as well. And they bring out like Misty ones, and they've got Tammy and Ginty one, and a Buster one, and so on and so on. So 13th Floor, Volume 1, totally recommended. Absolutely brilliant.